In 2021, we started tracking our client results in my program, Small Business Money School. And since then, our clients have collectively saved over $9,036,602.19 in their small businesses as of this writing. It represents payroll being run on time. It represents debt being paid off. It represents owners' pay increases. It represents peace of mind. This is my first vlog entry on writing my book, Small Business, Big Money. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to write a book since 2023, and I always felt like it's not the right time. I don't quite know yet. And all of a sudden, it hit me. And I'm like, it's the right time now. I want to dedicate this book to every business owner who has ever felt like they are living paycheck to paycheck. They're in the feast or famine. They want to just quit their business and they just want to go to a stable job. They feel like they can never build wealth, or they feel like they have to reinvest everything back into the business in order for it to work. And really, this book is for you, because I want every small business owner across America and, the globe. I want you all to feel like wealthy business owners. I want you to feel like you've broken the feast or famine cycle. You're building retirement savings. You, as the business owner, are being compensated well for your job. You're not just taking home whatever's left at the end of the month. Your debt is being paid. Maybe you can buy a home. That is what I want for every business owner. And there's some really simple steps to get there. I think about my grandfather, right? He was a tailor by trade. He was in medical school and he had to drop out when his father died unexpectedly, and he had to be the man and take care of his 11 siblings and his mother. He moved to America with his new wife. He set up shop because that's all he could do is the trade that he had, which was being a tailor. And he was a tailor for his entire career until his late 70s, when my mom and her sisters forced him to retire. But he never really had the business acumen. He was a successful tailor for sure, but he always reinvested everything back into the business. He never took a really great wage from his business. He never really built wealth. They owned a home, but that was about it. They never invested in the stock market or used retirement accounts or anything like that. I just think to myself, I'm so proud of him it comes off as patronizing. I don't mean it as patronizing, but maybe I'm so in awe of him for immigrating and doing that and supporting 4 girls and having a beautiful life and a loving family. And there's so much to learn there, but I also wish that I could have coached him on the money. I wish that there was something when he was around to help him capture more of the wealth that his business was creating. And so this book is really dedicated to the businesses like his. It's dedicated to the business owner who doesn't see a way out, but doesn't want to go to a 9-to-5 or can't go to a 9-to-5. I just think, businesses are the backbone of America. Most people employed are employed by small businesses in America. And I think that we can do better. I'm really excited. And let's dive in. I feel like I'm creating my own little audiobook. No one's paying me to do this, but I want to read to you the introduction of my new book, Small Business, Big Money, How to Be a Wealthy Business Owner. Let's dive in. How it all started. In 2017, fresh out of undergrad, I landed a job as a small business researcher at Intuit, QuickBooks, on their innovation practices team. It was the coolest job on the planet. My entire role was to speak to small business owners across the country and also globally about their finances, their accounting, their reporting, and generally just getting a sense of how the hell they ran things. I would work with different product teams within the organization, like the sales tax team, the mid-market team, the invoicing team, to answer questions for them. How do business owners track profitability across their various projects? How are business owners keeping track of sales tax without a POS system? How do businesses who have over 300 invoices a month enter it into their system? How long does it take them? My job was to uncover how business owners were working, what their pain points were, and how we could better solve them within QuickBooks. I worked there from 2017 to 2022, and in that time, I interviewed over 400 companies. That's 400 hours speaking one-on-one with businesses, seeing behind the scenes on their operations, going in person into their offices to see their processes firsthand, hearing their complaints, seeing their successes, and seeing their failures. It was like getting an MBA in small business, but I was getting paid. But sometime around 2019, I started feeling some career dissatisfaction, and I really didn't know why. I was getting paid well. My coworkers were smart people who I respected. I was working on something I cared about and that I felt created a net positive in the world. But something was eating at me to branch out. It said, go deeper. There's more to do. After speaking to my dear friend Isabel Rogner about this, she suggested, why don't you become a financial coach? I didn't even really know what that meant at the time. What's that? I asked. And she responded, I think it's just when you talk to people about their money and help them figure it out better. For a year prior to this conversation, I was the go-to money person in our friend group. I hosted a weekly wine and budget night for my girlfriends. I was always the one who answered questions about our Intuit stock plan or our 401k, so it made sense. I'll be your first client, Isabel said. And so we began meeting weekly, going over her budget, creating financial goals, building her savings account for her future wedding. Meanwhile, she didn't even have a boyfriend at the time, and generally just talking about money and wealth. Then came another client. Another coworker who heard about what we were doing and wanted help too. Then another. I quickly realized how much I enjoyed not just interviewing people about their money, but actually helping them with it. So my baby company was born in July 2019. My first year in business, I made a whopping $200 in sales. To be honest, I was afraid of marketing. I was uncertain about if I could actually get people real results, and charging for my services made me want to throw up. At one point, I had a client who was paying me $35 through Venmo for 1-hour sessions every week that I would drive to her for. I don't even think the $35 made up for my gas money and tolls. But then 2020 happened and I got my window of opportunity. You see, at the time I was commuting 103.9 miles a day in Bay Area traffic to work. And on top of that, I was working with a developer team located in India. Fun fact about working with a team in India while you're in California, India is exactly 12 hours ahead of California, so there are 0 overlapping working hours. I'd meet with India at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. their time, then go home and meet with them again at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. their time. With the commute and the India hours, it was a nightmare. So when lockdown happened, I got all my commute hours back and I decided to use them to go all in on my little coaching business. I started marketing on Instagram, testing online offers, I started pricing, and I started gaining traction. By the end of 2020, I had earned $28,000 in my side hustle. I coached couples, women in tech, women in nonprofits, new college grads, side hustlers, business owners. I tested everything that year. But by the end of the year, I realized that my favorite clients to coach were small business owners. And on top of that, I had so much expertise because of my job at QuickBooks. So I went all in and decided my business would focus on business finance and helping business owners build wealth. Coaching business owners is a much juicier problem from a financial perspective. Not only do business owners have to do all the same things as employees to build wealth, build personal savings, pay off debt, invest in the stock market, etc., but they also have to be in charge of all the business finances. And if the business finances aren't sound, then the personal wealth will never come. And that is where I found so much joy. In unraveling the business, in figuring out how business owners could pay themselves more, in finding ways to increase profit and pay off business debt and avoid bad debt, that is where my expertise and passion intersect. I've been so privileged to work with over 600 business owners in the last 5 years of running this company. In 2021, we started tracking our client results in my program, Small Business Money School. And since then, our clients have collectively saved over $9,036,602.19 in their small businesses as of this writing, which is July 10th, 2025. This represents so much more than the money. It represents businesses who now have a cushion. It represents payroll being run on time. It represents debt being paid off. It represents owners' pay increases. It represents peace of mind. In May 2023, I launched my wealth building mastermind, 7-Figure Wealth. And since we started that program, we've helped our clients collectively build stock market portfolios outside of their businesses worth $28,270,891.31. My promise to you, the through line of this book is simple. Your business should be the engine of your personal wealth machine, not a feast or famine stress ball. And by the end of this book, your business finances should be 1, simple. You'll have a clear cash flow management system so you always know exactly where you stand and what you need to do next. 2, profitable. You'll grow a healthy profit margin that allows you to reinvest in the business, pay off debt, and pay yourself well. 3, a source of personal wealth. Ultimately, your business will fuel your personal financial goals and will be the main wealth engine in your life. This book is for the business owner who wants a sustainable, enjoyable life. You want to earn enough money to go on vacation and send your kids to school and live in a nice house and pay off your debt and explore your passions. And the reality is that so much of the advice we get about business finance is the inverse. It's not about you, the business owner. It's about the business itself, growing the business, expanding the business, building your business empire. But that's not the only way to wealth. In fact, that's the slow way. It's the riskier way. And although some of you want it, the more I speak with business owners, the more I know that most of you just want a nice life. You can build real wealth with your current business. This book will show you how. When I worked at Intuit, the company mission statement was power prosperity around the world. And although I no longer work there, it really feels like no matter what format it comes in, whether I'm a small business researcher or a coach or a podcaster or an author or a tech founder, I will always dedicate my work to small business finance. It is the honor of a lifetime to get to do this work. Gina Knox, aka Money's Mom. That is the introduction to my book. I am continuing to work on it, to work on building out the chapters and making sure the frameworks are really solid and that we have visuals in there because I'm a visual learner. And I can't wait to deliver this to you all. I can't promise that what you just heard is exactly what will come in print. I think that really encompasses what I'm trying to do with this book. And I'm so excited to get to do this with you. I think that I'm being called to publish as I go, meaning I'm not going to hold this back. I'm not going to do some big reveal and, have the book be hidden behind closed doors until it's ready. I actually want to write it in real time with you. I want to share chapters and segments in real time with you. Of course, you can still buy the book when the book is ready to be published, and I hope you do. But more than me hoping that you buy the book, I hope that you get to see my process as we go and you gain knowledge and tidbits as we go and get to know me better as we go. And so that's the intro. That's the first installment. But I think that's so exciting. All right, bye.